A very good afternoon, dear students. I hope you all are safe at your own place. I, Professor Sonal Agrawal, welcome you all on the digital platform of Agrawal Vidya Vihar English Medium College. This is the lecture for the subject Banking Law and Practice Paper 2. What we did in the last lecture, I just want to brief out in short. I just want to make you remember about the topic that we have started with the topic that is called the forms or the types of advances. Here, in that we have discussed that the types of advances are bifurcated into the four categories. First is cash credit, second, overdraft, third, loan, and last is discounting of bills. Here, as you know that we have covered the first, second, and third point till now. In the first point, we have discussed about the meaning of the cash credit, that if you require a permanent solution of a fund or you want to borrow the fund on a permanent basis, here to maintain the working capital requirement of business, then of course the cash credit is a good option. But again, it is a option. It is a good option only for the businessmen. This is not so useful for the general public. After that, we have discussed the cash credit features here, and that we have discussed that it is a short-term advance. Why? Because it is for 1 year. It is helpful to the commercial persons, with the businessman, and you can borrow the fund as per your wish here in the accounts. And of course, you have to give the security of your goods, and the interest is actually going to be calculated on the actual amount borrowed by the customer. These features we have discussed in the last lecture. After that, we have started with the topic that is overdraft, and it is a very practical topic. No need to explain much about it. Why? Because we all aware about these facilities, and even we have discussed this topic in our FI also. If you have taken the banking as an option. What do you mean by overdraft? It is a common thing for you that any amount which is withdrawn in excess from the available current balance or available credit balance in the account, it may be in the any account here. Generally, the rule says that it is only on the current account, but as I already said that nowadays modern banking and it is also available on the savings account, but you have to give some of the security. So, overdraft facility means the excess amount that is withdrawn by the customer comparison with the current balance that is available in the account. If any of the excess is withdrawn, then that excess amount is known as the overdraft. After that, we have discussed the example of the overdraft. Then we discussed about the basic characteristics of the overdraft. And as we have completed the two topics, that is the cash credit and overdraft. After that, we have discussed the difference between the cash credit and overdraft facility. Clear? In that, we have discussed the 7 points. After covering this difference, we have started with the topic that is loan. Here we have discussed about the meaning of the loan. Then we have discussed the types of the loan. That first is the short-term loan, that fulfilling the working capital requirement of the persons, and you have to give your tangible movable asset as a security. After that, we have discussed the medium and long-term loan, that if you want to satisfy any capital requirement, then the medium and long-term loans are the good options, and you can give the movable assets or immovable asset as a security, but it must be a tangible asset, of course. Then we have discussed the bridge loan, that if the businessman require urgent loan, he or she is not having the time to go for the lengthy procedure of taking the loan. Why? Because sometimes it happens that the opportunities arise in the market, and to take the benefit of that opportunities, urgent funds are required. So because of that type of objective, the bridge loans are there. And of course, the rate of interest is slightly higher. Why? Because the bank is going to provide you the funds on the urgent basis. After that, we have discussed about the composite loan. Here, if any loan is going to be satisfy both the needs, working capital requirements, and the second one is the capital requirements. Here, if both the needs are satisfied in single loan, then that type of loan is known as the composite loan. Here, generally, these types of loan are available for the small workers and artists and all. Why? Because the requirement of the fund of those types of persons are less. And lastly, we have discussed about the consumption loan, that if the loan is taken for any unproductive personal objective, so that type of loan is known as the consumption loan, like the marriage of the daughter, like the education of children, or go for a trip. This all may be the unproductive personal reasons. Here, for those types of reasons, the loan is also available. So we have covered the types of the loans. After that, we have discussed about the features of the loan. Here we have discussed in the last lecture, and then after, as the loan topic is also over, so we have discussed the difference between the cash credit and loan facilities. Here, in that we have discussed these 5 points, and I also mentioned some additional 2-3 points for you, that I told you that you can mention those points also in the table. So this thing we have covered till now. Now the last topic that is left, that is purchase, or you can say purchase and discounting of bills. Here why I revise all these things to make you clear that what we did till now in the topic. Why? Because this is the last topic of the forms of advances. Here, as we discussed, that 4 types are there, and this is the last type. So it should be clear in your mind if you have missed any past lectures, that what we are discussing, because this is the last topic. Afterwards we are not going to discuss about this topic, so that's why I just want that the things must be clear in your mind, that what we are discussing here, because this is the last point of the topic. So the last point is purchase and discounting of bills. Here, so the question arises here, bills means what? So here bills means all types of bills. So but basically it focus on the bills of exchange. Here, so the question arises that what you mean by the bills of exchange. So the definition is written on the screen, just read it once. Okay, done. A bill of exchange is an instrument in writing which is an unconditional order to pay a certain amount of money to a specified person. Here, you are going to pay a certain amount of money to a specified person, and that type of order is given. So, when this type of condition arises, that bill of exchange is required whenever the goods are sold on credit. Suppose Mr. A sold the goods of 1 lakh rupees to Mr. B on credit, and then Mr. A, who is the creditor, who is the seller actually, become the creditor, and Mr. B, who is the purchaser, become the debtor. Why? Because he purchased the goods on credit. Then Mr. A write up bills of exchange here. In that Mr. A has given the unconditional order to Mr. B to pay a certain amount. Which amount here? Here in the example, the amount is 1 lakh rupees. So, to pay rupees 1 lakh on a specified period, or the specified person, here person is mostly specified. Here the bills is written on Mr. A. With that, the time period must also be specified. Here, suppose the credit policy of Mr. A is 1 month. So, after 1 month, the Mr. B should pay the amount. So, all these things must be written on bill of exchange. That bill of exchange is Mr. A will send that bill of exchange to Mr. B. Mr. B puts his signature on that bill of exchange. That signature is the proof that Mr. B is ready on the terms and conditions, and he is bound to pay on that particular time period which is mentioned in the bill. Here, after accepting the bill, signature means called the acceptance. Here, after accepting the bill, so Mr. B returned the bill to Mr. A, and that bill which is in the hand of Mr. A, that is the bills receivable for A, and that is the bills payable for B. Here, that bill is issued in 3 copies. I am repeating again, that bills is issued in 3 copies. Here, 1 copy is also with the purchaser. So that bills is bills receivable for A, and that bill is bills payable for B, and commonly it is known as the bills of exchange. Here, I hope it is clear. The meaning is clear. What do you mean by bills of exchange? So what is our topic? That purchase or discounting of bills. Here. Now the question arises, what do you mean by discounting of bills? So I am explaining now in short. Again, I will explain again with the help of example and with the help of definition and features. But I just want to make the things clear with the definition. So I am explaining in general. First thing we have discussed with this example, I hope it is clear in your mind. Clear? Just make the example very clear and it will be very easy for you. Now the same example I am explaining further that the time period is 1 month. So the Mr. A is going to receive the amount that is 1 lakh rupees after 1 month. But suppose after 15 days, due to any reason, the Mr. A requires the funds urgently, then what he should do? So there is an option of discounting of bills. Here, the Mr. A can take these types of facilities with the help of bank or any other financial institutions. What the bank is going to be do? The bank is going to, you can say, discount the bill or purchase the bills. Here, what do you mean by discounting? Here, the bank will pay the amount of bill that is the 1 lakh rupees after deducting some discount. Suppose the discount is you must say 5,000 rupees. Here, so the bank will pay 95,000 rupees. 1 lakh minus 5,000 discount, so 95,000 rupees will be paid by bank to the Mr. A. Why? Because Mr. A requires the funds. So that 5,000 is the discount expense for Mr. A and that 5,000 will be the income for bank. On the maturity date, what is the maturity date? After 1 month here. So after 1 month on the maturity date, the bank is going to be collect the same amount, that is the 1 lakh rupees from Mr. B. That is all the procedure of discounting of bills. I hope it is clear to you. So the discounting of bills here, some of the characteristics I have mentioned here for you. So to make the topic very simple for you, in your book, whether you are referring BSc or whether you are referring Popular, in both the books the contents are less. But if you attend the lecture, so it will be helpful to you. Some of the students were asking again and again that which book we have to refer for the banking subject, whether we have to refer BSc or whether we have to refer the Popular one. But as per my opinion, don't go for any book here. As per the rule or as per the VNHU pattern, you can refer any book. You can refer BSc, you can refer Popular also. It depends on your choice. Here, which book you found better. But some topics are good in BSc, some topics are good in Popular. So I always advise that don't go for any single book. Here, what I used to do as a student. Here, I used to refer all the books. Here, I also refer the Gujarati books because sometimes what happens that some contents are good in the Gujarati version also. That is not good in the English version. So I am not advising you to read the Gujarati versions, but what I am telling that don't think very confusing in your mind. Here, you can refer any book, whether you are referring BSc one or whether you are referring the Popular one, any book you can refer. I provided you the material from the Popular one in the Google Classroom. Here, if you are having the BSc book with you, so you can refer that the BSc book also, but don't be confused about the material. So starting with the topic that is the discounting of bill of exchange. So first one is hold on to the bill of exchange till the maturity and take the payment from the buyer. Of course, that we have discussed that the seller has to hold that bill of exchange till the maturity date, and on the maturity date the seller is going to be take the payment from the buyer. Why? Because he sold the goods on credit. Now, second point is about the discount. That discount the bill of exchange with discounting agency. Where if the person who is holding the bill of exchange, requires the money before the maturity date. The first thing here, the act of handing over the endorsed bill of exchange for ready money is called the discounting of bill of exchange, and you are handing over the bill of exchange to someone else. Who is here? The someone else is it may be the bank or any other financial institutions. The seller who is holding the bill of exchange is transferring the possession or handing over that bill of exchange to the next party. The margin between the ready money paid and the face value of the bill. Ready money paid here, so I'm taking the same example about that. Ready money paid in that example is 95,000 rupees and the face value of bill was the 1 lakh rupees. The difference between two things, that margin will call the discount. What is the difference? 1 lakh rupees where the value of the bill and 95,000 were paid by the bank to the customer. The difference of the 5,000 rupees is called the discount. On the maturity of bill of exchange is defined as the date on which the payment falls due. Here, date is already written on the bill of exchange. Now, who is going to decide? The seller is going to decide the debt, and the purchaser is going to accept. The bank is not going to decide that what will be the maturity date. That debt is already written on the bill of exchange. Normally, the maturity periods for the any bills were 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. And the bill maturing within the 90 days are most popular here. So generally, the sailors are using this types of facilities of 90 days maturity period. Means the maximum credit facility given to the customer is 3 months. More than 3 months, normally the sailors are not ready to give you the goods on credit. And the discounting agencies, who is discounting, who is going to discount your bills, maybe the bank. NBFC means non-banking financial companies. It may be any company or high net worth individual also. Yeah? So these types of agencies or these types of financial institution and high net worth individual, or means you can say the reputed person. Here, who is the reputed person in the matter of finance? So that person is also going to be do these types of facilities. So this is called the discounting of bill of exchange. I have mentioned one specimen here for you about the bill of exchange. As you can see that here no specified you can say format is that that bill of exchange is not ready-made available in the printed form. That we know that check is available with the bank in a printed form, but that bill of exchange is not available in a printed form. The seller has to write the bill of exchange. And what are the terms and conditions of writing the bill of exchange? We are going to discuss in the banking one. And parties of bill of exchange, that there are three parties: drawer, drawee, and payee. So who is the drawer, who is the drawer, and who is the payee? For you, I have mentioned here as a chart. The drawer means the supplier who supplied the goods or services on credit. And drawee means the customer who accepts the bill of exchange that is issued by the supplier. Yeah, and lastly, the pay means usually it is it is the you can say the drawers or his bank. Clear? So that is known as the pay. To whom the drawer is going to be paid? The drawer is going to be paid. The customer, drawer is the customer. The customer is going to be paid to the drawer, of course. And in spite of drawer, the drawer is going to be paid to the bank of the drawer. Yeah? So that's why the pay is the bank. Again, I am repeating, the supplier is the drawer, the customer is the drawee, and drawee is going to be pay the amount to the drawer's bank, clear? To the supplier's bank. So that's why the payee is the bank. I hope it is clear. Just focus on the chart and it will be clear to you. Here, one example again about the drawee drawer, that the sale the goods of $10,000. The drawer means the supplier or the seller sell the goods of $10,000 on credit to the drawee means the customer, and he wrote a bill of exchange. The drawee, who is the acceptor, accept the bills, and after accepting, he again transfer the bill to the drawer. And drawer, if he wants the money before the maturity date, so he transfer the possession of bill of exchange. Which instrument here? He transfer the possession of bills receivable to the bank, and the bank provide the money to the drawer. And on the maturity date, the bank is going to be collect the amount from the acceptor. Yeah? So it will be clear from this chart also if you have any confusion. And lastly, the question arises, what do you mean by purchase here? We have discussed about discounted means discounted. So what do you mean by purchase here? So generally these things are not so much popular. So that's why in mostly books you found the discounting of bills. Yeah, you are not going to find the purchase of bills. But this option is also available here. Purchase of bills means here bills are not the bills of exchange, but here bills are, it may be the, you can say the railway receipts, here bills of go down, supply bill. Here these types of bills are there. That bank is going to purchase the bills from the creditor, and the bank is going to be collect the amount from the debtor immediately. Why? Because in that type of bill, no, you can say maturity date is there. Suppose, for an example, supply bill is there. The distance between two destination is suppose 2 days. Here, the supplier has or the seller has supplied the goods to the purchaser, but it requires 2 days in transportation to supply the goods, but the supplier or the seller requires the money today. So the bank will purchase the bills, and after transportation means after 2 days, the bank is going to be collect the amount from the debtor. Clear? So this is you can say for a very shorter period of time. So that's why the charges or the discount that is cut by the bank is nominal, and the discount which is cut by the bank in the case of discounting of the bills will be high. You can say the interest will be high or the service charges will be high in case of discounting of bills. Why? Because in case of discounting of bills, some maturity period is there. So as we discussed that it may be the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days or 120 days. So some maturity period are there. So till that the bank has to purchase, the bank has to wait to collect the amount. But in case of purchasing of bills, the bank is going to be collect the payment immediately by presenting it before the draw for the payment. So that's why that in that situation the charges that is deducted by the bank is low. Clear? If the seller wants to get rid of from the activity of collection, so the bank can the seller can take the help of the bank. But generally this is not so much popular. Just the discounting of bill is the popular. I hope it is clear to you all now. And this is the end of the topic that is called the forms of advances. I hope it is clear. I have tried my best to make the thing clear for you. Why? Because in the book, the content is there, or very less, you can say just one paragraph is given in the book. So I tried my best to make that discounting of bills must be clear in your mind. Because the students are not able to understand this topic in a good manner. Why? Because you may heard about the loan facility or overdraft facility, but you are not actually using this types of facility, discounting of bills here. So I have tried my best. I have explained first of all the meaning, that what do you mean by bills here. So generally this bills means the bills of exchange. Then afterward we have discussed some of the features, and that I have shown you the specimens of the bill of exchange also. The image is I think slightly blurred. So I will show you the next image in banking one when we will discuss about the bill of exchange. After that, we have discussed the parties which are involved in bill of exchange. So generally, there will be minimum 3 parties, and after that, we have discussed that who are these 3 parties, and we have discussed one more example. And after that, we have discussed the meaning of purchase and discounting of bills, and what is the difference between these two. Basic thing we have discussed till now. So now this is the end of the topic that is called forms of advances or types of advances. And I am repeating again, if you have missed the past lecture, that this topic is the very IMP topics from the examination point of view. Repeatedly in every exam, this topic is going to be asked for 13 marks. So prepare this topic in a good manner. Shortly, I will give you the notes also for these topics. Clear? Now we are going to meet in the next lecture. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Have a good day. Thank you.